Welcome back to my channel UPSC Shorts. In the second episode of Current Affairs Weekly, I have brought to you the most important topics of last week for UPSC Prelims 2023. Please do not skip and watch till the end. Every topic presented here is a most important topic, and we have brought only important topics to you after eliminating lot many irrelevant topics. So please watch till the end without skipping it. So let's start with first concept, green bonds. So green bonds was in news because the India's first ever green bond was launched by the RBI. Therefore the concept of green bond is very important, and this can be one of the most important topic for UPSC prelims 2023. And green bond is basically used to raise the money from investor for green projects, to fund the green projects, and Indian government is issuing green bonds to achieve our climate goals. And this green bond auction was done on an online platform called eKuber. So green bond is an important concept. Some of the eligible projects are discussed here in this slide. For example, renewable energy projects, energy efficiency projects, clean transportation projects, climate change adaptation related projects, etc. So you can just go through this list. No need to mug up this list, but just for the reference. Next important topic is angel tax. This angel tax was in news because recently in Finance Bill 2023, that is in budget, government has brought angel tax on investments received from foreign investors. Till date, the startups used to pay tax on investments received from resident Indians only, but now they will be paying angel tax on investments received from foreign investors also. Why this is important? Because this can have an impact on funding received by the startups. Therefore, the concept which we had seen in our previous video, reverse flipping, which was also discussed in the economic survey, also comes here again. So if investors do not get foreign funding without paying tax, then the startups can move to foreign jurisdiction, which is called flipping. So startups can flip overseas. This is impact of angel tax. So remember, angel tax is related to startup फंडिंग रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर. यूएस ने सोलोमन आइलैंड्स में एक एम्बेसी ओपन की है टू काउंटर द चाइना इन पैसिफिक ओशियन. So this is not much important from the prelims perspective as in the tussle happening between China and US, but the Solomon Island as a mapping point can be asked in prelims 2023. So go through your atlas and map where are the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands are present in South Pacific Ocean. SHALIGRAM stones were in news because these stones are to be used for construction of idol of Lord Rama in Ayodhya. There are three things to be remembered about these stones. Firstly, these are found in Kali Gandaki river, which is a tributary of Gandaki river in Nepal. Second thing, these stones are revered by Hindu devotees as representation of Lord Vishnu. Then third thing is these stones contain fossils of ammonite. This can be asked in science and technology. And the last thing is the Lord Rama is believed to be the reincarnation of Lord Vishnu, which is why these stones, which are believed to be a presentation of Vishnu, are being used for construction of idol, and these are being brought from Nepal. Our next slide is about project ELLORA. This project ELLORA is brought in by Microsoft Research, and what they are doing, basically they are doing research on some local languages like Gondi, Mundari, etc. और वो क्यों कर रहे हैं? They are trying to digitize these low resource languages. So remember, the project ELLORA is done by Microsoft, not by Government of India. Our next slide is about Paris Club. So what is Paris Club? It is an informal group. किसका informal group है ये? Creditors nations. So basically ये कुछ 22 वेस्टर्न क्रेडिटर नेशंस है, तो उनका एम क्या है? देयर एम इज टू गिव अ सस्टेनेबल डेट सॉल्यूशन फॉर कंट्रीज अनेबल टू रीपे देयर बायलैटरल लोन्स. सो अभी क्या हुआ है? श्रीलंका इज अनेबल टू रीपे द लोन्स टेकन बाय श्रीलंका फ्रॉम वेरियस कंट्रीज. सो दिस इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप called Paris Club has given assurance to the IMF that they will help Sri Lanka in repaying this loan. So in this loan repayment race, China, Japan and India are one of the major contributors, because China also wants presence in Indian Ocean, India also wants presence in Indian Ocean, and obviously Japan and US also want representation in Indian Ocean, and Sri Lanka is very important strategic location for Indian Ocean. So remember, this Paris Club is an informal group. This is not related to United Nations or some organized body, but this is an informal group of creditor nations. Our next concept is no bar on contesting 2 seats in one poll. एक एडवोकेट थे, उन्होंने एक प्ली लिया था, एक एसएलपी फाइल किया था कि कोई एक पॉलिटिकल कैंडिडेट मतलब 2 सीटों से एक साथ पोल नहीं लड़ सकता है, इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ सकता है. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड दैट वी रिजर्व दिस इशू फॉर विजडम ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. सो देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर, जुडिशियरी एंड लेजिस्लेचर. There is a concept of separation of power which is important in mains GS2. Also there is a direct topic related to this news, Representation of People's Act. This is directly in the this topic is directly from the syllabus of GS2. So while reading GS2 for the mains, focus on Representation of People's Act and separation of powers, and this example can be given if there is question on these two topics. You can give example of this news, that how separation of power is followed in India. Our next news is about VISVA-BHARATI University. For the first time this is happening in the world, that UNESCO is going to give status of living heritage to VISVA-BHARATI University. So what is this VISVA-BHARATI University? VISVA-BHARATI University was founded by Rabindranath Tagore in 1921, and this university is being given tag of world's first living heritage university. So there can be question in UPSC prelims about living heritage tag as well as this VISVA-BHARATI University. So this is important. Culture. Our next news is about NISAR. NISAR is basically an Earth observation satellite. So go and read what is Earth observation satellite. Basically these are satellites which observe Earth's surface. So this satellite is developed by NASA and ISRO jointly, and this is a radar satellite, and this satellite will measure changes in Earth's surface topography. So basically this will be done to track the evolution of Earth's crust, glaciers, earthquakes, volcanoes, climate change, etc. So just remember that NISAR is a joint project between NASA and ISRO, and this is a Earth observation satellite. Our next news is deadline for KUSUM scheme, PM-KUSUM scheme is pushed to 2026. This is not much important for prelims, but for mains they can ask, evaluate the performance of PM-KUSUM. The deadline for completion of target is pushed because somehow the scheme have not been able to complete the target of 30,000 megawatt of solar, which was to be completed by 2022. That is why they have extended the deadline to 26. So go and study the scheme in detail. There can be question in prelims as well as mains. Then next concept is Anatolian plate. This is a continental plate. This was in news because of recent earthquake in Turkey. and this plate is present between this African plate, Arabian plate and Eurasian plate. So go and mark it on the map. This place was in news, therefore it is important for prelims 2023. Then Green Deal Industrial Plan was somewhere in news. Not that important, but just remember this is not related to India, but this is related to European Union, and this is related to expanding green industry in Europe. So it is not related to India, but this Green Deal Industrial Plan can be given somewhere in option and it can confuse you. Our next important concept is Operation SADBHAVANA. So this is very important concept, very important. Its name itself indicates SADBHAVANA. So it is basically to build goodwill among the people about Indian Army. So this is operation run by Indian Army, undertaking multiple welfare activities such as running army schools, infrastructure development projects, etc. for children living in the remote areas of Union Territory of Ladakh. So this Operation SADBHAVANA is very important. There can be question in prelims 2023. Operation SADBHAVANA, Indian military in Ladakh. It is a welfare activity, not some. The sickle cell anemia was in news because Indian government have launched mission to eliminate sickle cell anemia by 2047. So please understand what is sickle cell anemia. So why it is called sickle? Because some of the blood cells, red blood cells, become like sickle. Sickle जो होता है ना अपना घास काटने के लिए होता है, तो that is called sickle cell. Sickle. So some of the red blood cells become like sickle. So this, see this is normal RBC and this is sickled RBC. So that is why it is called sickle cell anemia. So ये जो cells होती है ना, ये इसमें क्या hemoglobin cannot be accommodated in these cells, so hemoglobin कम हो जाता है, so anemia हो जाता है. And this is an inherited blood disorder transferred through genetics from parents, and this mainly happens due to consanguineous marriages. So this can be cured by bone marrow transplant as well as stem cell transplantation. This is a rare kind of therapy, very costly, and is done in very rare, मतलब severe disease में ही होता है. So go and study what is stem cell therapy. Stem cell therapy is very important. This was already asked in UPSC prelims and it can be asked again. So even sickle cell anemia is also very important for UPSC prelims 2023 science and tech. Our next concept is medium density amorphous ice. This is a kind of ice which was discovered recently by College of London, and it has similar density and structure as that of water. Remember, the normal ice has less density as that of water, and normal ice has a organized structure, but this amorphous ice has no order, no organized structure, बहुत disorganized होता है. and जनरली क्या होता है, वाटर जब फ्रीज होता है तो वो एक हेक्सागोनल शेप में फ्रीज हो जाता है. तो दिस अमॉर्फस आइस has no particular order, therefore it is called amorphous, and it is of medium density, that is why it is called medium density amorphous ice. So this can be asked in science and technology. Then next is SANGAM portal. This is also very important concept. This is primarily launched to build close ties between the youth of Northeast and rest of India. Basically this is part of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Basically integration of nation के लिए this is very important. So SANGAM portal, this can be asked in prelims as MCQ, and you can also give this as example for एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत. मेंस में अगर कहीं पे आपको एग्जाम्पल देना है कि हाउ वी कैन एंश्योर नेशनल इंटीग्रिटी, सो दिस युवा पोर्टल कैन बी गिवन एज केस स्टडी. Next concept is left wing extremism. This is exclusively for men's, and because for the first time in last 2 decades there have been reduction in left wing extremism, and there is direct topic in our syllabus in GS3 about left wing extremism. So number of deaths of civilians and security forces have been reduced to 100 and even below 100 for the first time in 4 decades. So basically Ministry of Home Affairs aims to destroy the entire ecosystem of LWA by financial choking. Finance is very important for any activity, including this LWE, because they need to procure weapons and everything, so they need finance. So if financial choking is done, then this can be effectively this can curb left wing extremism. So a three pillar strategy was adopted by MHA. You can go through it. This can be used for mains. Then there was a simple concept in news, Nord Stream. It is basically a pipeline, natural gas pipeline, which connects रशिया टू जर्मनी और ये बाल्टिक सी के अंदर से जाती है. So not that important, but you can just keep in mind. Then there is this concept of E20 fuel. This is a fuel where ethanol is blended with fossil fuels and percentage of ethanol is 20%. So this can also be asked in science and tech. Then there is a news about CAR T cell. So this is CAR T cell is basically used for treating certain blood cancer. There is some research going on about CAR T cells. You don't need to go in detail about that, but just remember this is something about treatment related to cancers, specifically blood cancers. So thank you guys. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends so that you never miss an update.